Alrighty, looks like we've got Dark Ages and Nocturne today. What's happening here? Gotta check the Druid boons really quickly. River's Gift, Earth's Gift, and Moon's Gift. Maybe Earth's Gift could be relevant. Not the best set of boons for Druid to set aside. It's a draw. Looks a bit lacking here. So Hermit, you can convert into a Madman, the cost of not buying anything on a turn. And then Madman is a lot of one-shot draw at a high price. Not literally a high price, it costs 0. But metaphorically speaking, the cost of getting it is very high. There's also Necromancer. You start with 3 zombies in the trash, one of which is Zombie Apprentice. You could trash an action card for +3 cards. That's like effectively 1 lab worth, because you play Necromancer, you trash an action from your hand, you draw 3. You've only gone up 1 card. But it's synergized with stuff like Rats, potentially. So you could draw a little bit off of that. There's also Pixie. Not draw on its own, but some of the boons are draw. You can get Sea's Gift. You could not get River's Gift off of Pixie, because that one's set aside with Druid. Druid playing River's Gift isn't draw, because you only get it once. Pixie getting River's Gift would be draw, because Pixie draws 1, and River's Gift draws 2 if you do it twice. And then lastly, Swamp's Gift looks actually pretty decent here. You could pop Pixies for Swamp's Gift to gain Will-O-Wisps. And these are draw if they connect with another cheap action. You just put a bunch of Will-O-Wisps in your deck, they draw each other, and then you get a bit of draw off of that. It's a little bit more practical here than usual, because with 3 of the other boons set aside, it doesn't take as many plays of Pixie to get a bunch of Will-O-Wisps. Every 9th Pixie play would reveal Swamp's Gift, whereas normally it's every 12th. So draw looks a little bit hard to come by. I mean, also technically Ironmonger, but there's no reliable way to connect it with victory cards for plus card. Everything else looks present here. We got Bandit Camp and Ironmonger for villages. Ironmonger is much more practical as village, because your deck tends to be mostly actions. For trashing, there's Hermit to trash estates, Counterfeit to trash coppers, Goat trashes everything. You start with a Goat in a pouch in your deck and place 2 of the coppers, because Pixie and Tracker are in the kingdom. Rats could trash stuff, and then you have to trash the rats, but that's doable with Zombie Apprentice, for example. Plenty of trashing, and then plus buy, we got Counterfeit, Druid, the pouch. Draw looks like the biggest limitation. How to open here? Probably 3 as Hermit. Wouldn't mind trashing an estate, gaining a Madman. Gets the Hermit back out of the deck, and then jumpstarts the deck. 4 could be Rats into Necromancer. Could be 2 Pixies. Pixie's just generically a very good card, even if you don't want any particular boon. Here, I think Will-O-Wisp is probably the best boon, which is often the case. Ironmonger, also a good card. I think I like the idea of 2 Pixies. I would like to get to the point, like I want to get thin very fast, which Goat naturally gets you very thin very quickly. I think the easiest way to scale up is going to be to play a bunch of cantrips, then play a Leprechaun 7th and gain a gold and a hex, not a hex, and a wish. You don't want to gain the hex. Hexes are bad. And so I want to put a bunch of cards in my deck really quick, a bunch of action cards, so that I can quickly play 6 action cards, play Leprechaun, get things going. Silver, that was actually not terrible. Again, I'm going to get thin, I expect, pretty quickly, and so adding payload is not so bad. It's a little bit early. This draw makes me sad. Did not find either estate. I'm just going to take a bunch of Pixies here. Wow, Pixie is already at 1 by turn 4. Bot apparently really likes them as well. Yes, please. Where is Hermit? It is hiding. Don't think it's worth killing this just to get that. Ironmonger? Rats? Probably next turn I play Hermit, gain Leprechaun, trash the last estate, gain a Madman, and then I can activate Leprechaun turn 7. There are 2 pixies that take those. Neither of the other 2s looks all that good, I don't think. I mean, Druid's actually not bad. There are good 4s here, maybe. I'll give it a shot. Mostly because I want the pixie. Where are we in the boons? We've already seen Flame. Okay, so we've reshuffled the boon deck since the first time I got Swamp Skipped. I was contemplating, like, I could stop here and trash a state. That puts the Madman straight back into the shuffle, rather than triggering a shuffle and the Madman misses the shuffle. The main upside of playing one would be additional chances of getting a good boon like Swamp's Gift, which is now available again. I think I'd rather just stop. I want to make sure I find that Madman, which would be unlikely. Yes, please. Okay. Leprechaun activates. What do I want to wish for? Maybe just a bandit camp is the most payload right now. Could also be counterfeit. I don't need the counterfeit. The goat can deal with the coppers. But it's not bad. I think bandit camp makes sense. One upside of bandit camp is you gain spoils, which cost 0. So you play the bandit camps first, you pick up the spoils, and then Will-O-Wisp can draw the spoils just fine. Which is a nice little minor synergy. Rats to Necromancer. Just gain Ironmonger. Rats is fun. How can I say no to rats? Trash that. Trash that. I'm 10. Nothing special at 10, I don't think. Could still buy a counterfeit. Counterfeit also has some synergy with spoils. You're going to lose the spoils anyway, so you might as well counterfeit them and then get double money off of them. So that's a decent synergy. I think I want a Necromancer now, though, for sure. I think I'm going to take the Ironmonger. I really want to make sure I activate Leprechaun. I'm not going to have a Madman this turn to draw me a ton of cards. So I'd rather more actions, and if I get a wish, maybe I can wish for counterfeit at some point. Uh-oh. I'm going to activate Leprechaun. The problem is, once I get a good boon here, I'm not going to be able to play a village, play Leprechaun, continue playing my turn. Well, that worked out shockingly well. That's exactly what I needed. I needed a boon worth trashing the pixie to get the pixie back out of play so I didn't have too many actions, and then I needed to draw a village, which I just so happened to do. And now all's right with the world. All right. No pile out or anything here. No, we're still pretty far from that. Don't think I want that then. Don't want that. I should probably just trash the goat now, actually. I'm out of junk, so I don't need it. And should I kill the pouch? I'm gonna guess yes, and then reevaluate how much money I need. Maybe the extra money makes a difference. Looks like the answer is no. 3/4 here looks pretty good. It's like Necromancer and 2 Ironmongers or something. Hmm. Poorly timed notification sounds. Right, now I gotta watch out for piles. If I can draw my deck, which is gonna become increasingly difficult here, but if I could, a rat's pile out is always the thing to consider. The trick with rats is you have at least two in your deck, and you draw your whole deck. Then you play one rat, it gains the rats. Then you play a second rat, it draws the rats you just gained, gains you a fourth rats. Then you play your third rat, you draw the fourth rats, and so on, and then the rat pile empties. The downside of doing that is every time you play rats, it trashes the card from your hand. And so doing that is going to trash every single treasure and or victory card in your deck. Um, and then the only stuff you're going to have left is going to be whatever you have in play that didn't get trashed from hand. And so you need some way to score at the end of that. So like pop a pixie for 2 money, auto pile rats. You could gain one of the Ironmongers off of Earth's Gift. Not easy to see how I get the last Ironmonger. All that also assumes I draw my deck, which is not reliably going to happen. We shall see. Here I want to cycle as much as I can to hopefully find the Leprechaun. Looks like it's not going to happen this turn. Let's get lucky here. It will happen. Take that. I'm going to hold off on trashing the rats and see what we draw. Alright, let me see if we can win here. So, Druid needs to gain me an Ironmonger. You can wish for an Ironmonger. I need to get one more money. I've got a Spoils down there, and I think the other card's another gold, if I'm not mistaken. So Ironmonger here, I think, should do the trick. Alright, now I have 2 money, which is enough to buy an estate. Now discard a treasure to gain an Ironmonger. I have 2 total rats after trashing rats, because there's also one on the discard, and this is a win. Here we see the tricky part about the rats pile out, is everything else in your deck goes away. But then you can just do this. Oh, nope. It is hard to click quickly here without accidentally opening the card. Alright. Yeah. So I don't think you're necessarily building your deck towards autopiling rats. And in fact, that's very rarely the case. It's just like a situational thing to be aware of, because sometimes it can come up and you want to play around it if your opponent is threatening to autopile rats. Imagining that doesn't happen, I think probably the way this kingdom goes is you really can't scale up that much in terms of draw. Like, again, you can't build around Hermit, I don't think. The Will-O-Wisps or something, but like the more your deck adds treasures and provinces and stuff, they're not going to connect with each other very reliably. Ironmonger can't reliably hit provinces, so like over the long term, you're not going to be able to draw your deck consistently. So I think the goal is just get thin, get a bunch of cantrips, play Leprechaun a few times, and once you've pumped your deck up with a few golds and wishes, you can start provincing, and you're going to hit like double province kind of consistently, but not draw your deck consistently. And that should be like pretty quick. Like starts out more like an engine and turns more into big money, I think is how this game would go if it didn't end on rats, is at least my guess.